Now, because this is a whole series of audio recordings I'm doing, and I'm looking at the natal chart of an individual during Mort. And one of the important things here is we're talking about the rising sign in the horoscope. And the ascendant is the physical appearance. It relates to how you put yourself out there. Who are you on the outside? Who are you when you first meet somebody? Who do they look at? Who do they see? Who do they recognize? And who do they feel you to be? And this person has Aries rising. And they're very strong people, very assertive people. And people that will not mess around. They will be assertive and they will go after what they want. And they, have an image of strength and of not being afraid, of not being intimidated by other things going on. Now, I also want to find a couple of other things that I'm looking at here with this is, let's look here at what is going on. So, I'm just looking to find my thing to put in this attention. So, if we were to look at the natal chart, we also have, looking at the aspects here, Moon is trining Mercury, so that's very nice, communicative of emotions, sort of going along with the Moon Pluto, intensity of emotions, and you can really communicate those emotions, so there's something nice there. The Moon is also making an opposition to Jupiter in Pisces, and this is something that is, normally, Jupiter is really positive and is benefic and it brings blessings. But the Moon opposite Jupiter is a little overindulgent. It can link to over-exaggerations of things. It can relate to big energy and a really, loud sort of energy, because Jupiter is joy. Jupiter is about, bigger, bolder, better. And Moon is emotional expression. And this is a difficult aspect, Moon opposite Jupiter. And this person's a Sagittarius sun, so there's a fire element to it. There's a quality of, because we have to look at both sides. So the upside is I am really curious and I am teaching all this wisdom and I have so much knowledge, I have so much to share. But the downside is preachy, preachy, preachy. It is somebody who will be very blunt. This is the way it is. This is the way that I'm telling you how it is. This is what I say. It will be what I say. Although it's dictatorial, but Sagittarius is mutable, so it's not really all that controllable energy. However, there's a luck and there's a confidence. Jupiter rules confidence in yourself. And Moon opposite Jupiter, this is really fascinating because Moon's in Virgo, Jupiter in Pisces. And, the Jupiter in Pisces is saying, look at me, look at all I have to bring into this. But, there's factors that are sort of overpowering the individual. And Jupiter in Pisces can get acknowledged. However, just like Sun planet burnouts, when a planet comes too close to the Sun, its qualities burn out. And the Jupiter in Pisces, at times, if not used consciously, the energy can be burnt out of the compassionate qualities. If not used wisely, there is an over-exaggeration and an expression of emotions which is really big and loud. And it can be, Jupiter's big, carefree. And considering that this person was very angry and very loud and very firm and very intense in aggravation and frustration and anger, the Moon opposite Jupiter can say something toward that. Now, it's not necessarily exactly conjunct, but it is prevalent. And Moon opposite Jupiter is a signature of somebody who needs to be careful a little bit how we're expressing our emotions. Are we going way over the top? Or are we just, spurting out and being all, impulsive, having so much of it that it is just too much and too overwhelming and too draining and too powerful? And Venus in Scorpio supports that intensity of emotions, which can be pretty intense, and Jupiter can be over the top, so over the top, intense expression of powerful emotions. And it can have a lot of power over people, for good or for bad, but oppositions are not easy aspects, and they're not easy energies. Moon conjunct Uranus. This relates to the need for freedom, the need not to follow, the need not to be tied down, but the need to really be liberated, basically. And, what is a key spiritual lesson is to have the freedom to go in your own path and to also allow others to go on their own path, not to box and control them in to this is my way. This, well, that's one way, but there's not your only way. There's many other ways. And perhaps there could be, several different perspectives. And the moon conjunct Uranus is a sort of let's do this, that spontaneous energy. Adventure, excitement. And 2015 as a frequency, which was the year this person was in a relationship, was a big and loud year full of energy, a lot of energy. And the person's progressed moon at the time was in Leo. And as I said before, Leo is a really big fire sign with a big energy. And moon conjunct Pluto is almost exactly conjunct, so that's really, really big going on here. Mercury in a trine to Pluto is really deep and powerful communication. Powerful communication. Mercury in trine with Pluto, the Mercury communication in Earth signs, so really deliberate, really practical, but powerful communication. And firm communication. And I say that because people who are really firm are really powerful, and Pluto is very powerful. So Mercury trine Pluto, powerful communication. This person was very firm, and that Mercury trine Pluto aspect is a real indicator of somebody who really means what she says. Really means exactly, has a plan and is willing to speak the truth, willing to go there, willing to be really powerful, intense, and also willing to be very honest and to the core with communication. And other thing that's going on here is, I can't say too much else with that, but really deep as well. And Pluto rules Scorpio, is powerful, and Pluto is huge in the natal chart. Pluto and the moon going on, huge things going on here. And other things is Jupiter is also opposite to Pluto. So moon opposite Jupiter, and then Jupiter opposite Pluto. These energies overlap one another in really huge ways because Jupiter is really big energy, really indulgent, really about having fun. But let's make more of this going on. Let's make more. And while Pisces' emotion is really gentle and really, but in general, Jupiter, like expansion, and excitement, and Pluto being power is an difficult aspect. Again, overindulgence was probably how this person would use her power, and it made me feel very, very good, but an overindulgence in that, and an overdoing, huge, which could be too much if not used. You have to think about Jupiter opposite Pluto, not trying to sex style, but opposite. And, these certain factors support different elements. Now, on the positive side, here, Uranus conjunct Pluto. Oh my goodness gracious. There's a lot going on with Pluto conjunct and Pluto aspects. So we have Jupiter opposite Pluto, the moon conjunct Pluto, moon opposite Jupiter, then Uranus conjunct Pluto. Oh my goodness. So Uranus is really eruptive energy, very, radical. It relates to flashes of truth too. It relates to freedom and liberation and this kind of rebellious quality. And in opposition to Pluto, is a sort of, no, I want it my way. And I'm not stepping down. And Pluto, well, Pluto, again, relates to transformation and change. As if the intention on a soul and conscious level is to try to be powerful, to try to change and transform the people meeting. So we have Uranus, big, huge energy, not a small, quiet energy by any means whatsoever. And opposite Pluto. And again, Pluto, Scorpio, energies. And there's positive sides to power. You could impact people in a lot of ways. However, I'm really focusing on the destructive side, the downside, because that is a clear bias that this person had with this individual, Mort, who has a natal chart with some, fire, some water, and some oppositions, Jupiter, Pluto, and Moon going on, energy, Jupiter, Pluto, and Moon, big energies in the natal chart. Looking at a lot of the natal chart going on here. And the progressive Moon in Leo only adds to it, because we were talking about anger, Pluto, Scorpio, really powerful and destructive almost. And Leo, again, that element, the fire element here. So I am acknowledging looking at that chart. I'm not just saying, oh, this only is the whole thing. I'm not going to sit here and look at everything, but there's some energy going on here. And the bias this person had was not having a good relationship with this individual. And these factors might prove the reasoning why that is. And so all these kind of factors go together. So as I'm speaking, there's certain themes that you're hearing over and over again. Because these are the themes that I'm focusing on. Jupiter opposite Uranus. Another thing going on here. Jupiter opposite Uranus. So we can add that to the list of stuff going on here. So really powerful energies. We do have some, Jupiter trining Neptune, Jupiter in Pisces. We have, Saturn trining Lilith. Another thing I should point out is Saturn trining Lilith. Saturn is, it is, a restrictive energy. It is very authoritative. It relates to governments. It relates to limitation. And it relates to obstacles, too. And Saturn relates to being very restrictive. And in trine with Lilith, the Lilith relates to fears, unconsciousness. It relates to reject of what you are turned off by what other people know. It is in Libra, and it's about harmonizing and peacemaking. And with Saturn in Aquarius, so, we can get into that whole conversation. It's interesting that Lilith is in Aries, or, Libra, but Saturn trine Lilith. Again, there's a kind of restrictive sort of, quality, and, Lilith, it is, again, following this whole theme of using, because Lilith relates to the feminine power source, another indicator of power. The sun is very powerful, it's really strong, it wants to set the structures in place, and Lilith, so, as I'm looking here, I keep finding these little things, and then you have Venus sextiling Pluto. That's really, really positive. It is another aspect of Pluto. So it's positive going on here. But again, Venus is Scorpio in sort of detrimental place here. Yes. So, in terms of aspects going on, there's other factors here, but I really wanted to focus on these aspects going on. So, this is an analysis of this person's natal chart. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you got a lot out of it, too. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mary Sanchez, and I'll see you on another episode of Better Your Life